What is up, you wonderful people? It is I, Nima, and today I want to talk about the Sale of the Week video because that's what we're doing here. We're going to look over a few games that I ended up picking up while they were on sale. We had a great sale, like Square Enix having like this massive sale, NIS America is having a big sale, and even like the Mario Day sales are still going. So there's a lot of big games out there, and I'm sure some of those would be ones that you would say, oh, they're the best games, and they probably are. I'm not going to cover those because we know that. And I typically try to get like games I've never heard of or games that are cheap and just kind of have fun and see what we, how we like certain games. The first one I start off with is a game that I don't like. And I think that a lot of people might, and I also think that it's probably a really good game. But it's a game called My Brother Rabbit, which is a point-and-click adventure. There's a lot of like puzzle solving about it, and the art style of it is really awesome. And I even think the story is going to have some real depth to it. But if I'm being honest, I just couldn't get into it. Like, there were so many puzzles packed into like the first level. I just kind of gave up after a while. I felt like I did a whole bunch of work, and it never really paid off. Like, I'm figuring this and that out, and going further and further, but it's just all in lieu to get this rabbit out of a hole, and it took forever. And so, yeah, like, I respect what the game is, and if you tell me that you like it, I get it. That's cool. Not for me, though. Not for me. Now, one game I did end up liking, and really ended up liking, is a game that I've seen on sale multiple times. This game is almost synonymous for being on sale, and that game is Thief Simulator. Yes, I have seen Thief Simulator on sale pretty much since the first day I owned a Switch. Now, regularly it's like $19.99. It's always on sale for $1.99. And it's one of those games that I finally said, okay, you know what? I'm going to check it out. It's been years that I've seen this game around and whatever. But you figure that if a game's always on sale, it's probably kind of crap, right? Well, lo and behold, I was wrong because Thief Simulator is legitimately fun. Now, there are some issues that are kind of tied up with the game. Like, for instance, the lockpicking is incredibly frustrating, and they really don't give you any quarter at all. Like millimeters, I want to say, that you have to be within that range before you break your little lockpick thing, and then you got to go buy another one for $20 effing. But everything else about the game is just a lot of fun and really, and yeah, the controls are kind of tanky, and there's some definite issues with the graphics and performance, but it's just a lot of fun. It's just dumb fun, and I really appreciate that about a game because it's one of those games that really you kind of play and you think, just kind of dip my toe in. I just want to check it out. And then it ends up being more quality gaming than you thought. Now, again, like I said, there's some definite issues and they don't ever really go away, but even the story is sort of superficial. It's like you're a career criminal kind of guy and you got put in jail and someone bailed you out. So now you kind of got to pay them back. So the only way you know how to do that is, well, stealing stuff and being a thief. So anyway, it's a fun game though. I really appreciate it. And I think like most people will actually really like it as well, especially for $1.99. Crazy cheap for a good game. Now, on to another game that broke my heart, I gotta be honest. So, this game was called Alder's Blood, or Alder's Blood? I don't know. It's ALDERS is blood. Anyway, it's a kind of a strategic RPG taking place like in a different dimension, but is loosely based on like the Old West. It sounds weird, and it definitely feels weird as well. But basically, you have your whole group, and they kind of trust you, and you're going from place to place, journeying, and essentially, you're also having to fight monsters every now and then. Like, there's just like corruption and these bad monsters, miasma and all that, whatever, all around you kind of constantly. And so, like, your characters also can kind of go insane, and there is some definite, like, cool stuff about the game that could be cool, but the combat is just boring. Like, it is slow as balls, and it's just incredibly boring. I really don't like it. And it's on sale for like $3.99, but it's typically, I think, like $40. I don't know. Someone has to check that for me. But honestly, this is a game that I thought I was really gonna like, and I ended up really I didn't even finish the first part of the game. Honestly, like it was so boring. The text is so small, by the way. It's really hard to read what you're supposed to do, and it's one of those things that is like it's presented in this incredibly boring manner. So yeah, I don't know. For me, it just didn't click. If you like the game, awesome. I'm kind of curious. Like, does it get better, or I don't know, if you played it, let me know. I'm not a big fan, and I would advise most people not to get it, to be honest. But so here's what happened. I was in the mood for a strategy RPG style game set in the Old West, and I found a game called Hard West. And okay, I'm not that far into it. I can't even really give you the story, if I'm being honest. I've only played like the tutorial area, but so far this is exactly what I wanted. It's a cool story. I'm in the infancy of it, so I would hesitate to even try to explain it, or even, I don't know, put my name behind how good it is. I don't know yet. It's really early on, but from what I've been presented, it's pretty cool. And the actual gameplay, that's where this game for me is already better, and it's fun. It's a strategy RPG, but with like guns back in the Old West. That's what I wanted, and that's what this game is, and it's how it plays. So far, fingers crossed, I'm liking it, but we'll see if it's, a keeper or not. Now, the next two games in my Smash or Pass format here both get a smash, and they're games that you wouldn't expect me to really like. One is Monster Truck Championship. This is definitely a game you wouldn't think I would like, but it's actually fun. Again, it's just like dumb fun. And that's kind of what I was into apparently this week. Now, this game has you competing in different styles of racing. Well, like there's racing, then there's like a freestyle mode where you just basically destroy stuff and try to flip your truck and stuff. And then there's like a drag style mode where both competitors start at one end and they try to do like a little obstacle course, and whoever gets to the finish line first is the winner. And you can then take money from that, upgrade your trucks, you can get sponsors, you can hire a team. There is a number of things that you can actually do that actually makes this game pretty significant. Like, it's pretty beefy. There's more content in here than I really thought. Aside from just the customization and being able to hire your own team and get sponsors, the actual career mode is quite a bit bigger than I thought. Like, you're given, I want to say, around 30 different courses, and each one of those courses then has its own, like, 3 to 5 races per course, or per level, if you will. So there's a lot to do in this game, actually. It's fun, and I really like it, and especially for, like, $3.99 or whatever I paid for it, it's definitely worth a pickup. Now, my final game is a game that, again, not something I typically would be into, but was interesting, and definitely a lot of fun. And it's at $1.99, and it's a game that is called Modern Combat Blackout. Now, I don't know why I felt like grabbing this game, because typically I'm not really a Call of Duty person. I used to be. I used to like the first-person shooter, military-style gunplay, competition, bro down. That used to be my thing, but that hasn't been my thing for a very long time. But I just thought I'd pick it up. It was $1.99. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it was originally, but I know it was on a pretty steep discount, and looking at the screenshots, looked like it was pretty good, and lo and behold, it's actually fun. Now, it does have an online component, and I played a few matches. It's not great. Like, if I'm gonna play online first-person shooter, and I'm going something outside of, like, Nintendo, then I'm definitely gonna use my PS5. And if I'm going something inside Nintendo, I'm going Splatoon 3. So it's not something that I would say is worthwhile there, but the actual missions are pretty fun, and they offer different modes to it as well. Like, or maybe I should say perspective. I'm not really sure what would be the more accurate term, but the base vanilla mode you play as kind of like an infantry guy. You got your submachine gun and you're kind of just going from point A to point B, doing your objective. But then like a sniper mode kind of pops up where you're a sniper and you're protecting that same guy. So it's like the same level, but just presented in a different fashion. And those pop up for like most of the missions, which really does add to the length of the game, the combat in the game. And one other thing I will say, if you for some reason are like, oh, I want to check this out and I want to play online, yes, there are loot boxes and stuff like that, but they do not require any actual money. In fact, you can't spend any actual money. You have to play the campaign. You have to do some of the other stuff they want you to do, and that's how you earn your currency to use your loot boxes. So I guess that's a good thing as well, but again, I wouldn't advise this to be a multiplayer game, like, unless you really, really think you're gonna like it. I noticed it'd be fun, but there were definite times that if I was being competitive, I would have been frustrated by lag or something like that. But I will say, there are a number of people online playing the game, so it is available there. Anyway, this video is probably going to come out late as heck anyway, so I want to cut down the length of it. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hey, let me know what games you're picking up on sale, if there's any that are interesting to you or anything like that. I want to just do some different games than I normally do, so here we are. Let me know your thoughts on all these games, if you've played any of them, or any of the games that you're picking up that are on sale. Anyway, guys, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.